Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 189 in the book of Genesis. Today's question is going to center around lying. So let's start with the lie. The title is, Are You Stuck in a Lie? So the brothers of Joseph are going to lie again in this story. So their father, Jacob, aka Israel, has just died. He's been buried up in Israel. And the brothers have a legitimate worry that their bad behaviors may result in consequences of that they don't want. So they've hurt Joseph, they've attacked him, they've betrayed him, they thought about murdering him, but they did the secondary thing and they sold him into slavery. Not exactly brotherly love. Then they lied about it for 20 years, a little conspiracy amongst themselves, that Joseph was torn to pieces. And now they're seeking forgiveness. Now here's the irony in the story. Is seeking forgiveness is a wonderful thing. It's a very high value. And they actually believe that seeking forgiveness is such a high value that they're going to lie to get the high value, which is, wrong. So here's where it goes wrong. They're going to go back to lying like they did for those 20 years where they lied to their father. And they're going to, by their own initiative, put themselves back in the prison of this little conspiracy group that they had. So they're going to stick themselves back with a lie. Why? So they can maybe weasel forgiveness out of Joseph. Now, their worldview is wrong. So they live in a world of payback rather than forgiveness. They live in a world where me being in the place of God rather than God being in the place of God. So this is the last chapter of Genesis, verse 15, Genesis 50:15. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "It may be that Joseph will hate us and pay us back for all the evil we did to him." So that's their worry. So they sent a message to Joseph. They didn't even go, saying, quote unquote here, "Your father gave us this command before he died. Yeah. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgression of your brothers and their sin because they did evil to you." Unquote. And now they sort of speak in this note. "And now please forgive the transgressions of the servants of God, your father." I suppose there's some chance that Jacob actually did say this to the brothers, but my interpretation is in this whole weaseling passage that we're doing that he did not, and this is a lie. There's no evidence that Jacob told him to say that. So Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also came and fell down before him and said, "Behold, we are your servants." But Joseph said to them, "Do not fear, for am I in the place of God?" Another great line out of Joseph. "Do not fear, for am I in the place of God?" So the brothers share, what if they keep lying? If they, they're going to expect to get some consequences out of this. I think a principle we have to understand is that the Lord knows this all. That's the place of God. He's high, he's holy, he's just, he's all-knowing, every word, every thought. So this should cause a profound humility in all of us. So what can we learn here from this from Joseph, again, with the lesson of forgiveness? Joseph says to his brothers, "Don't fear me. Am I in the place of God? Like, what am I going to do to you? Earthly consequences." But he does say, kind of silently, do fear God, because God is in the place of God. And what is that place? Again, holy, all-knowing, perfect justice. And we have to respect that a day of reckoning is coming for us. And what will we do with our sin on that day? Nobody's going to say, "Oh, I didn't sin," or "I have no sin." No one is doing, "Hey, I'm okay here." So we are all going to face judgment. The question is, will you have help when you go before the judgment seat? And here's the genius of God. So let me just share the good news today, that there is a fix for this. There is a spiritual, God-sent solution to this problem. What will I do about my sin? That all failed religions have tried to. And here's God's actual solution. "I sent my son Jesus, the perfect sacrifice, who was sufficient for all the penalties that my sin would require. And I offered it at the greatest cost to himself, torture and death and sacrifice. but it's totally free to me, except for one thing. And it's the characteristic that's the hardest for humans to give, which is our wills, my yielding and my agreement with God. But it is cost-free, except for that thing which I hold most dear, my pride. And for some people who've never heard this, like, this should just be just 100% good news, a lifeline. I've been waiting for this. Grab hold, no questions asked. For others who know this and have considered this and account that my pride is too great to receive him, hear the tragedy in John 1:11. Speaking of Jesus, 11 says, he came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. So I want to, as we conclude here, I want to think about the scales of justice. Geographically, am I in the place of God? So here's the scale. The weight of your sin on one side, and something we're trying to get on the other side to get the sin weight taken off. And it's two weights. So typically I'll be up on this scale, and this unbearable weight of sin and penalty coming. The only way to do this is to get off this scale and let God get on the scale, receive his offer for standing in my place, and make it his place. So where is the place of God? Joseph says, am I in the place of God? Well, here is the place of God where he's offered us, I will take your place there and balance the scales of justice. So geographically and visually, he's offered to occupy my place. So is it the place of God? It is the place of God if I let him, if I receive him. But to all who did receive and who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. He can fix the scales of justice if you receive him, especially to liars. Thanks for listening.